Okay, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, so let's continue. So, how did you like the game?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, it was not boring?
It was.
Okay, great. But of course, we play this game with a certain purpose, right? Because everything has to be done in life with a certain purpose. If nothing else, to have fun. But tell me, what have we learned? Now it's your time to tell me first, so to answer my questions, and then I'll let you know. So tell me about the teamwork. Do you agree that we learn something, that we can learn something from this play or this game about teamwork? Right? So what is teamwork? How do you see teamwork? How do you feel about teamwork? How important is it?
Communication.
Okay. So teamwork firstly means, of course, that we do something in teams, right? Do we always have the opportunity in life to choose our team?
Never.
Never. Unless we are entrepreneurs. But even then, yes, you cannot really choose usually your distributors, your selling partners, because there are not enough of them. So you have to go and start doing business with them, even if you don't like them that much. But you somehow have to find a way how to build a relationship. So in teamwork, it is all about relationships, right? And of course, in relationships, we need to communicate, we need to connect, we need to interact. And now I want you to reflect, to tell me how your teams functioned. What would you say? So each of you, we will divide it into three teams. Who will start? Maybe here, the first group.
The question is, how was my teamwork when I was thinking about it?
How was your teamwork and how you see that your team cooperated with you?
Yeah, this is what I already saw. It was very sad for me that they are watching for the others and don't believe that we can do it. Because I'm a stronger believer, and now I'm running for winning, like to leading my organization of public speaking Toastmasters. You probably know it.
Yeah.
And really, I just believe when you focus, you still have some time. You just need to, do the things how they are, and it was so sad for me that they just, show what they are.
Okay, in the other two participants in this group, how did you feel this teamwork spirit? Because it is all about creating teamwork spirit.
I liked it because it wasn't tense. I didn't feel like tension in our team.
Okay. Are you sure you were in that group?
Yeah, I was because we kind of know each other a little bit now, and we.
This was actually the advantage of you because you all know each other already.
And we can kind of sense if some of us, maybe some of the people will say something, and for you that you don't know that will sound maybe nervous or what. But if we kind of know each other, we'll just like we could sense more if that person is really stressed or tense or whatever. Or just has higher level of energy and doesn't have mean like intentions. So for me, it was kind of, I don't know, maybe we weren't too much into it, but it was okay atmosphere. I mean, someone made a suggestion. The Rota didn't agree with our strategy.
What role?
Why I didn't?
What?
We were doing it together.
Okay, don't fight. Okay, so she said that you are doing it together. It's okay. I mean, each of us can have its own point of view or feelings how it went. Okay.
I'm talking about when we wanted to check how the others did. You didn't agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
But you did.
Okay.
Everyone did. It's all the people are doing. I also did, but I didn't want to just spend too much time for watching them.
Okay. This is your aspect. Okay.
Okay. This is the first information now.
Yes.
Okay, so now, I will stop it now. So what we can see here is that they were a team, but now when I'm starting to question them, we see that they understand how they participate in this team differently, right? So you were not that well harmonized from my perspective.
Can I say something also? In my case, I take my time. They start to, okay, let's go to do this, and I was silent. I just was looking and thinking by myself, like, okay. And I was trying to take some spaghettis and to do something. Okay, later we have like a strategy, and we start with this strategy, but we didn't have nothing in the basic. So we start to construct like it's not going to be solid, let's say. So the time was passing, and okay, we have a goal, we need to do that. We have used your skills or use the things that you have around. If people are here and it's not a rule or something that we cannot do, we can use this, you know, to check the others, not to copy them, but maybe to take ideas to put in our work that actually we were doing that. So I don't think that this was bad idea.
What we took for the others.
Okay,
Not the others, just look around what is going on around you, think out the box, you know.
We'll come back to this conversation. Don't steal the content, because I have
Okay,
copying
okay.
on slides as well, and
Okay.
we'll talk about copying later. But as a team, what we can see now, it is really important how the team or what the team dynamic is. So when you are in a team, always pay attention. That's the crucial part. First, to understand who the team participants are. You had the advantage that you already knew each other. Usually when you are put in a team, you still remember that timeline we had. So 1/3 is for planning and getting to know the material. In this 1/3 it is also getting to know the team members. You have to know, and each time you will delegate it into a new team or put in a new team, take sufficient time to get to know what your strengths are. Because maybe I'm good in constructing, but maybe someone else is good in, I don't know, prototyping it, right? So you have to know who has certain assets, certain knowledge, and use this knowledge. If you do not communicate before and you run into a project just to get to the goal, then you can lose some potential that your team has. And this is a pity. So always think about team participants first, and then try to build a dynamic of your team. Because some teams can be seen as slow, some can be seen as not well organized, but they are still efficient. So within your small team, you have to create your dynamic. And don't allow that someone else forces you to change it if it works. But you have to know why it's working, where are your advantages, your disadvantages, your potentials, and when you're not that good at it. And each time you are forming a team, it's not good to try to find someone who is the same as you are. You already have your role. You need to find someone who will cover those things that you are not good at. Yeah? So each time you'll be in the position that you will have to form a team, think about that. Because the majority of project teams are usually not successful because they're not formed correctly. And this is the part where human resource should come in, and human resource managers usually should do that. But some of them are not skilled well to do that, because they're only, checking your profiles, not talking to you enough. So it's the responsibility of a team leader. And now when talking about the team leader, and yes, together ever achieve more, that's the goal. Because if you're an individual, you will never be able to do as much as in a good team. That's quite logical, right? Okay, goals. Why are goals important?
Because motivate you.
Okay, but before that, true, goals can be motivated.
It leads your actions.
Okay, very good.
Be able to make a plan.
Okay, perfect. So I can say if we know what the goal is, right? If this is a path, we set a goal is at the end. Yeah? So you said that it tells us how our action will be, or what will our steps or let's say that it's easier to plan all the steps how to achieve this goal. What project teams, or also, workers usually do, they start here, this is our entry point, and they see a goal. And they do their plans from where they are now to how to achieve it. It's the wrong way. We say that this is from the bottom to the top. Always set goals first, and then when you are here, try to plan steps backwards. Why? Because you won't do mistakes. You know what you have to achieve, and now you're building a path how you will achieve it. If you do this, it can happen that you will first go here, then you will see that you're wrong, you will go back, and so on. So it's just the way how you have to change your mindset. So if this is the goal, how can I achieve it? Okay, I have to do this and this, but if I will do this and this, I will need these people, and these people. You get the logic. Otherwise, you get confused. And if we see it now through the project, through the game, what usually happens is that you all know what the goal is, but then you forget about it when you are really into the game. you just start to think, okay, I have to build it, I have to be the tallest one, and so on and so on. And what people usually forget in this game, it didn't happen with you, but it happens in the majority, I mean, of the groups. Marshmallow, exactly. The goal is not to just build, I mean, to use all the spaghettis and build the highest tower ever, but the goal is actually to have marshmallow on it. And what happens with the tower, marshmallow is quite, in comparison with spaghettis, it's quite heavy. So when you put it on, it collapses. So always, never allow yourself to forget about the goal. So we say that you are goal-oriented. And this is the crucial element of entrepreneurial or leadership mindset. Always be focused on goal, because if you will know what the goal is, then you won't falter, or you will do less mistakes. Okay? So always start from the goal point of view and go back. Never from the beginning and then, yeah, I know what the goal is, now I'll just try. You won't have time. It's a hard competition out there. Yeah? So be goal-oriented.
And also, I think it's really important when you make a goal, like also deadlines. Like in every step.
And we'll come to that now. So you've all heard about, probably, or not, tell me, about the SMART technique. So how a goal should be set. Of course, the goal, not every goal is a good goal. And who is setting goals? Yourself. I mean, you as a team leader or a team member or a team as a whole, you set yourself goals. Okay, your manager sometimes sets a goal for you. But okay, a goal, if it's a good goal, and if a manager won't give you a good goal, God bless you, you have to redefine it a bit. And this is the technique how you do it. Each goal has to be specific. Yeah, so you have to know exactly what you want to achieve. It has to be measurable. You have to measure it. Yeah, I'll send you slides later also that you'll have it. There are many theories about SMART, but you have to measure it. So from and to. So can you track the progress and measure the outcome? And here is what we say, deadlines. So you have to have milestones. Within 3 minutes, I want to achieve that. After 6 minutes, I have to achieve that at least first floor of the tower will be built. So this will force you to progress faster and with less distractions. Okay? So attainable, or also, and yes, it is how. So is the goal reasonable? Because some goals can be up in the sky somewhere, and there's no way that you will achieve it. Okay? And then, of course, relevant or realistic, however we call it. There are so many goals that are not relevant within this path. So you have a main goal, and then you have some other goals in the meantime. And always focus only on goals that are relevant. If someone will tell you that you need to fly, I mean, are we able to fly? No. So you have to redefine your goal, otherwise you'll get easily distracted. And people get distracted when they're working on a project which lasts for 6 months. There are so many distractions, and they lose focus. So always check whether your goal or goals in the meanwhile are fitting in here, and then timely. You always have to have a time frame. If you don't have a time frame, you lose or use too much time. So remember the SMART technique, and I'll send you some deeper description of how to set goals, and it's like a checklist, how you check each goal, and retransform it a bit, that it fits into here, and you'll see that it will be much easier for you to work, especially, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but maybe next year when I come, or next month when I come, we'll do a Scrum method. Do you know Scrum? Okay, it's a way how projects nowadays are done in really advanced high-tech companies. Okay, nowadays, I mean, the majority of the companies are doing waterfall system, but now it's Scrum. At the end, maybe, or when we'll be having a beer, we'll be talking about it. So SMART method, always use SMART method when setting goals and go from the top to the bottom. Another analogy, if this is a goal, I mean this is a mountain, what is our goal if we are here? To come up to the mountain. If we are standing here and we are trying to think about, this is a test also, yeah? To come up to here, there are so many different ways, right? And I have no clue from here which one, because I don't see it really clearly, yeah? How to come up here the fastest, right? Use as less time and my power as possible. But if I can visualize the goal, and you have to do that, you have to visualize the goal because you did not achieve it. So you have to visualize, you have to have strong ability of visualization to see where the goal is, and then plan it from down here. Because the view from up here is much bigger, it's much easier to plan all of things. Yeah? It's clearer. Okay?
And also you can go like that.
You can also do like that, but don't forget that there are competitors there, and you can be easily distracted here. Nowadays, I mean, we have to be efficient. If we are not efficient, yes, in life some people say, yes, well, I'm still searching myself. Okay, true, but when you start a business, or when you are in a business, in a company, you will have to perform faster and better than the competitors.
No, but I'm thinking that is a mountain. So to climb the mountain is to be like this. If you like.
Okay, yes, I mean the best can be
That's
different.
what
Can be
it is.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah. This was just the
That's what
analogy.
can be like this.
Yeah. No, we just did from bottom to the top. You can get confused. If you are able to visualize where the goal is and then plan your actions from bottom to the top, it will be easier. Try it sometimes. Okay. Leadership. We were talking about leadership before. Who was the leader in your group?
I don't think we had one. We worked together like very well.
Okay.
But suggested things.
Okay. In your team, I also recognize that there was no exact leader, let's say. Yeah, the job was equally divided, yeah, or split. What about in your position? I mean, in your team.
I also think I'm not really that strong character, so that sometimes I'm taking this initiative, but I think that I wasn't like so strongly leader.
Okay. What would you say?
I think that you were the leader. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think also.
You've shown.
But it's like I like to take leadership, but I think that maybe I am too aggressive, so I always use some space. It's not that I would do more leadership, but I didn't want because.
Okay, with leadership, if someone wants to be a leader, yeah, this is the leadership process. So, support, motivation, goals, success, contribution, teamwork. All these together are assets of leadership. And now, to be a bit provocative, were you a leader or were you a boss? What's the difference?
The boss just tells what to do. The leader is leading the work. Normally he or she is working together, like in the front line.
What do we need if you would be running a company, if you would be the founder? What would you want to have, leaders or bosses? Okay, why?
Because it's natural. The leader is a natural person. I mean,
Wow, okay, true. Leaders usually come on the surface through the natural process, right? So we give them recognition as team members, sorry. Yeah? Boss is usually set up. It's someone who is there to tell you what to do, someone puts him there, and even if you, of course, because there's the authority, right? So you see, you acknowledge this authority to him, but not naturally. You're forced to do it. And usually you are not willing to cooperate deeply inside. You are not really willing to cooperate with him that deeply or being so passionate as if you would have a leader. So when you will be in a position of setting a team, find a team leader, and it doesn't have to be you. That's the crucial mistake. I found out in my startup that it's not my position to be a leader, it's my position to be a founder. And I have to find a better leader. Right? It is hard for me sometimes.
To recognize it.
Yeah, and I had some problems saying, come on, that's my baby, and now someone else is in me. Of course, he's still, I'm in charge of the leader. Yeah? But the team works better when he is in charge and not me. Okay? And
but I had this feeling that my team, when I said that, yeah, we can build, don't look on the others, I had this feeling that you started.
Well, so did I in the past. I thought that they're all working because they want to, not because they have to. And then I realized that they do it because they have to. I'm not saying that it's your case, but this is, for example, one. You have so many theories of how you can differ one from another. But yes, drive employees, coaches them, right? So it's a bit more. A leader needs to be a bit softer. Soft skills are important here, not so many hard skills. And yes, then you have says I, says we. But this is the differentiation. And for a dynamic, agile team, always leadership is better than just being a boss and having someone who is telling you what to do. Why? Because a leader will always provoke the team or help them to think with their own heads. If here you have a team, they will only wait to get directions. And you don't want to have a team that only waits. Then what? A boss goes for a vacation or he is on a sick leave for a month, and what will the team do? Here, they can do well without him, because they know what they have to do and they are willing to do it. They just need the motivation from time to time, some checkup, someone who they come to and talk with him and so on. So in your organization, and also yourself, try to be leaders always, and in your organization, you have to build leaders. Okay? Think about it. And in teamwork, this is crucial. Okay, so as we said, hierarchy, right? So the authority. And we have two different ways. The power of argument or the argument of power. So whether someone is a natural leader or a boss or a manager, or we are forced to take him as a leader. What is better? The natural one. Why? Because we trust him. We believe that he should guide us, that he should lead us. Yeah? And this is where the proactivity comes out. Yeah? So always, we'll see it here, I guess. Some of you read a book, 48 Rules of Power. Okay, if you have too much time, you can read it. It was one of the best sellers back in 2000 or somewhere. It is really popular in the prisoner intakes, because it's how to survive in the prison. But some techniques are really good. And when we talk about the authority, so win through your actions and never through argument, right? So if I say, probably you've all been in these kind of situations when your boss or someone who was superior than you were told you have to do that, and you ask him why, and he said, because I said so. Yeah? So this is true argument. Yeah? So exactly. Exactly. But okay, I mean, I'm not going into how to impair the relationship on parents and children, but in business, definitely, when you're in this position, always try to win through your actions. Lead by example, it's called. Leaders always do things and they copy them. So the team members copy them, or they do the same because they see that this is effective, that this is efficient, and that leader is really passionate about it. So they trust him then, and everything has to be based on trust. Yeah, so it's really, really important. Of course, we have someone, we all have someone who is higher, positioned higher than we are. But if we do not trust him, if we do not believe him, if we just acknowledge his power because we have to, and he gets better salary, then the team is not as strong as it should be. And this can be devastating for a team. And to be honest, we work with many companies in Slovenia as consultants, and we still see that this is the work ethics in the majority of Slovenian companies. So now we have a boss, he will tell you, I mean, he has 10 years of experiences, so those youngsters who came in the company think that they know everything now, but they don't. So we have to put them on the real ground, and they have to learn from us and so on. Wrong. It's funny, actually, last week the magazine Entrepreneur published an interesting article saying that this generation nowadays, the adults, are the first generation that should learn more from younger generation than younger generation from them. In the past, it was always like that. Okay, we have adults who are experienced and so on. But now, and of course, youngsters have to, I mean, younger generations have to learn and try to achieve what they achieve. But nowadays, the life tempo, how we live, how much technology we're surrounded. I mean, we live with technology. Yeah, we cannot deny it. So the older generation are not used to that, and they are starting to be a bit too slow to being able to cope with the competition or to the relevant world. So they should learn from youngsters. So never think that because someone is in the business longer time, that he should be the leader because of that. Never. This is the wrong direction. In Slovenia, we have a huge problem now with the owners of the company, the founders, on the senior management, because they cannot acknowledge it. Yeah, they are holding their positions like this, and even if they are doing harmful things to their companies, They still want to be the spokesman, the main leaders, the main characters.
But what should we do in the case we have this leadership with drugs, or we just don't want to work with them? The team in general don't find motivation, like in their leaders or bosses. How should people work?
When I go to a company and I talk, I'll answer you with a story. When I go in a company and the first meeting we have with the general manager or the founder and his team. And I ask them and they're all quiet. And at that moment I see what's the corporate climate or culture in the company. Because they're all listening to the CEO or the founder and they're doing like this, yes, and then I say, okay, Mister, can you please go out and I would like to talk with your team because they're the ones who are really involved in action, yes? And then I talk with them and sometimes they're really cautious what they will tell you. So you have to provoke them. You have to build trust first with them as a consultant. And then they tell you, yes, but we come with an idea and he says no because it was not his idea. And then, sometimes they even fire someone who, if they're feeling threatened by him, right? So if you find yourself in that kind of a position, always, what I want to say is that in these kind of teams, sometimes it happens that they have a second leader, informal one, very, very often. Because team, they like each other actually. The only enemy is their boss. And they also know that they know him because he has some good characteristics as well. But he is not, in my case for example, I know how to handle the business. But with my team, at a certain point, I was not good enough anymore for them. So they needed a new leader. And thanks God, they told me, hey, maybe Peter is his name. Peter should lead us now because you are too involved in other businesses, in Gaia College and all the rest. So he was some kind of an informal leader. And I acknowledged him, and now he is the official leader as well, official leader. In some companies, this is a problem, but teams can still function because they have a leader within a team, and they listen to him, and he is the spokesman, or he's the one who's communicating with the owner then, or the manager. Yes, he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like the bridge.
Normally, what happens isn't that this leader have a bad influence over the other people. Not always. You won't find this informal leader leading in a good way, but maybe it should be worse than it already.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Could happen if now. We would go too deep with this conversation, but it depends whether this team really believes in the brand. If they believe in the brand, they want to do good for this brand, and they know that the CEO also thinks that he's doing the right thing, but he's not. So they are still very consistent in the business, and they're trying to improve how they behave and what they do. And this informal leader is still a good guy, yeah. But it can happen when they want to put out the CEO that he starts to gossip and he tries to get the whole company on his side, that he will feel stronger to be able to put out the CEO. So you have different kind of approaches and different kinds of cultures, but we can talk about it later. But if you find yourself in that position, always the direct confrontation, usually with CEOs who are really hard and close-minded, okay, that's a cool expression. You will never be able to confront them directly because their ego will hurt. Yeah, so you have to be clever, yeah, and show them through actions. We'll come back to that a bit later.
How, for example, make that people believe on one brand?
That's a very long learning process, long lasting process. You have to involve them in each and every important thing. So you have to be a leader first, right? So that they feel that they participate and that their actions can result in the actual business, right? And that you give them some credits. It is really important we come to motivation. Now we are, okay.
And also good feedback after they do some work to have good feedback.
Exactly.
Nice.
Communication. Me personally, I believe in communication. This is the biggest, the heaviest tool you can have in your hands. The hardest, exactly. Dealing with people, staffing is the hardest. Before I said that the most important one in management is planning and analyzing. Yes, it is very important because if you don't plan it correctly, then you will also employ wrong people, yeah? But otherwise, the hardest one is definitely staffing. So dealing with people, understanding them, understanding their needs, their desires, how to motivate them, because motivation for me and for you can be two completely different things. money is only a hygienial thing. So I have to earn a salary. Okay, maybe I have to earn 800, you have to earn 1,000. And to a certain point, money is important. But you cannot stimulate me and motivate me only with money till the end of my days. Because I will only want more and more and more. And you cannot give to me 10,000 euros per month at the end. So you have to find other ways. And for me, maybe one free day of another day of vacation is stimulation and motivation. I have a coworker and she's passionate about education. So when I tell her, hey, if you achieve this KPI, key performance indicator, this goal, we will send you to Spain for an education. And I mean, she will achieve, yeah, I just
Why
made
not?
that. Yeah, but I mean, she will do everything to achieve that. For another girl, she has 3 little children, and she really likes to work, but her problem is that she likes to work that much, and she had a lot of work, that she's not able to be with her family as much time as she would like to. And we give her 3 days extra per 3 months if she achieves her goals. And she always achieves them. Because she's satisfied then. So you have to find a way. So it is always about the motivation. And how I showed the motivation here, but you didn't really, evolve with telling you that I have a reward, right? So when you tell people, you have to be clever here as a leader, as an entrepreneur, when to tell them that they will be rewarded. They always have to know what the goal is. Goals have to be settled. And they have to know that they have to achieve it because this is their job. But if they will overachieve it or bring better results, they will be rewarded. And communicate this reward, not from the beginning, but in the middle tell them, okay, I see the project is going well, so now we'll be rewarded. And find a reward and I knew that you would like sweets, so that's why my reward was sweets. But in team, it's important to track them each time. The manager has to know, or the leader, or the team leader, has to know what kind of desires his participant has. This is crucial. And you will have to put so much energy into it, but it will pay it off. It will pay it off so much. Because then you're really connected with them. And it's so easy to manage a group of people or your project team. I'm not telling that all of you have to be entrepreneurs or managers, but you will be in teams wherever you work. Even now, you're a team player. And each of you have an important role. And if you know each other, then you will achieve goal faster, easier, without arguing, or at least a bit less arguing. Arguing is good to a certain point. Yeah? So, motivation. Okay, yes. What else can we reflect from this play or game? Being innovative. Finding new approaches. Always challenge yourself. If you're a good team, talk about it. You've all known the expression brainstorming, right? So give the ideas. There are no stupid ideas. Put them out, talk about them, make fun of them, use a blackboard, write it down, do it. When you're planning, really try to be as innovative as possible. Because one innovation brings the other one. Yeah? So you as a team, as an individual and then as a team, you always have to treat yourself as being a highly innovative person, even if you're not. Force yourself to become one. This is crucial because, unfortunately, life is getting tougher and tougher and tougher, and success can only come for people who are innovative enough. Only. Trust me. This is probably one of the most crucial assets, I would say, that a person can have. Yeah? Okay, and so the innovation process goes from ideas. Of course, some intelligence is needed here. Finding a solution, always be oriented on solutions, on goals. Yes? And of course, inspiration, creativity, and vision. So, as I said, be visionaries. Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, they had a vision. And as I said, people were laughing at them at the beginning. They were underestimating them totally. If they wouldn't be fearless, they wouldn't share it, they would stop. But they were innovative. And Albert Einstein, for example, yes, who said that not even one good idea is that one. No, that cannot be any good idea if it is not crazy at the beginning. It has to be crazy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be innovative, right? So, And how can you get skilled in terms of innovativeness? You have to challenge yourself each time. You have, if you will Google it, you have many brain games, if we may call it so, how to build up your innovativeness. You see, this is like a chair or a sponge or whatever it is, and try to put it on the next level. What can we build out of it? For what can it be used? Where can we put it? Play a game with yourself. And slowly you will start seeing that you get better and better ideas, and then of course the implementation part comes. But at the beginning, don't bother yourself with implementation. You will do it in the next step. And as you said at the beginning, yes, we said that entrepreneurs have ideas. How much do you think that idea is worth on the market? Millions? Okay. Any other suggestions?
I agree.
You agree?
I don't believe so much in it, yeah, because I had a lot of nice ideas for applications. I had also one boyfriend who had ideas like each weekend.
Okay.
And he, it was very difficult to jump through and to risk and so on, especially that he was from like very good family. A lot of people had huge success in business. And,
But idea is the basic stuff. If you don't have idea, you don't have nothing.
Okay.
you
I
got
didn't
something,
say-
it's not, yeah, you got something, it depends
Okay,
from idea. But
No, okay, to be sure, if you want to be entrepreneur, if you want to be, if you want to be entrepreneur, of course you have to have ideas. But the starting point here is, how much it is worth? If you have an idea, how much it is worth on the market? And yes, I have to agree with you. This is the old way of thinking that ideas are worth millions. Do you know that, and it's scientifically proven, that in 1 second, at least 2 persons gets 100% equal idea as someone else. But where do we differ? Implementation. Are we willing to risk it? Do we have enough knowledge? Right? Do we have good connections? So are we able to implement it? So idea is worth nothing nowadays if it is not implemented. Okay, so always, this is, of course, when someone steals someone's idea, sometimes we see that they meet each other in court and you have to pay because if you protect your idea and so on and so on. But you cannot protect the idea of alien spaceship if you don't know how to build it, because when you go and protect your idea, they will ask you for all the plans, right? So the idea is not enough. So idea is worth nothing if you're not able to make it happen.
I was so surprised when you started today's presentation because actually I get a lot of friends with one school which is like totally the same model, that they don't have like teachers who are really, teachers strict and so on. They also do the jokes that they have been on studies of management, ask how many entrepreneurs you already had, how many companies you had, nothing, just teaching and so on.
Yeah.
And exactly the same. When you started today, it was so funny for me because I thought it's so innovative, we got it in Warsaw. Yeah, my boyfriend finishing this school and BA there and so on, so innovative.
So should I take it as a compliment then?
Yeah, also, I think
Yes,
maybe you also can, like, do something together, like send pictures and so on, because they always get something from London, asking people to come.
I think this is the right model actually. This is the future of education, definitely. Just thinking with books and then, we can always Google things nowadays. Nowadays, the school should learn us or teach us how to find information when we need it, but then how to be creative, right? How to be independent, how to be proactive, how to be able to work in teams, how to solve problem-solving techniques, and so on. So these are the real knowledges that we need to embrace, right? Okay, planning, yeah, so you've already seen it. As I've mentioned, and we can go through this quickly, it is all about planning. If you are not able to plan each step, let's say so, with planning, you avoid doing mistakes. And mistake costs you money, costs you time, and they can cost you winning. Yeah, so plan. You can use all kinds of way. You can use this model of how you call it in English? When you sketch map, okay, yeah.
Mind maps.
Mind map, yeah, for example. So there are different ways, but each project you're assigned to, start with planning first. Never forget that. This is crucial. And you've seen that some of you planned a bit better, some of you not that good, and it paid off, maybe. Okay, project work. We've talked about it almost in each of those bullets. But yes, I mean, project work nowadays, in the past, for example, what was the life of an average guy? He came to a company, he was employed right after the university, right? He was quite, I mean, competitive in the market. Because there was not a lot of competition, so he got employed and he was in the company for what, 20, 30 years. Maybe he changed 2 or 3 positions within one company. At the most, they changed 2 companies, right, in one life. What happens nowadays? And yes, they were working on one, not project, but they had one main assignment and they were working. What happens nowadays? Do you know what EU study shows? That 60% of students who goes to universities, who enrolled in university in 2016 in applied sciences, I'm talking not about science and so, because there is a lack of students, but in applied sciences, business sciences and so on, that 60% of us will have to be self-employed at the end. And what is the main characteristic of self-employment? Project work. And even in companies nowadays, you are not assigned only on one project, you have many of them. And if you are not able to switch from one to another, you will lose your mind. You will lose your mind because you get stressed out, you get confused, you don't have enough time to really pay attention to details, so you have to learn the real and good techniques of project management. You should do, I mean, we should have the whole day to learn how really, or which model is the best, but in life, for your good, is to read some cases of different project management tools, and this will really help you. Because trust me, you'll be working on so many assignments that you will get frustrated afterwards, and then people get burned out. Now, with young managers in Slovenia, I'm in Association of Young Managers of Slovenia, and we have a problem that a huge amount of them is burned out after being 35, and they're not capable to come back in the business for 10 years then, or even more, never. Because they work so much, and they have, of course, the energy, because they're young, they don't have families, they can devote 100%. But one important sentence, remember it, work smart, not only hard. If you put too much pressure into something, devotion, of course you always have devotion, but you will burn out. Eventually you will burn out. So you have to learn how to manage all those projects and still be efficient, but when to say, okay, now it's enough, and I will go to another project, start with a new energy, with a new vibe, with a new team, yeah, you need to swap. It's not easy, I'm still learning it, and I have a coach for that, because I work for 3 companies, so and each company has so many projects, so it's stressful, sometimes I can't sleep, so I have to come back, I mean, I have to find myself and find the right technique that will work for me. There are several of them. Scrum is one of the latest, best, there's the gurus of entrepreneurship and management are using that.
Do you think that effectiveness and efficiency are based on tools, like technological tools nowadays?
Sorry?
Efficiency and effectiveness are based mainly on tools and not just on practice, but softwares and like...
I would start always with the mindset. Before the tools and software that you are using to do. It's true that now with softwares and with computers, it's easier to be well organized because you can have a program and you put all your projects in, and then you have a better view on where you are in a certain point and so on, how you're progressing, how your team is progressing, so that helps. I use project tools, for example, for all my projects, Asana is called. But first is the mindset, that you know when to stop and go to another project and take time for it. Sometimes they still didn't, it's still said that women can be multitasking, right? And women can't. But it's proven that multitasking, no one is really multitasking, and it slows the process for 3 times. If we try to be on many projects at the same time, it's impossible. Because our brains can't function like that. You can't be as efficient if you change the project, 1 minute you're here, then 1 minute you're there, then the phone rings, it brings you to another level.
Yeah, I read something those days, I was writing my thesis, and it said that the professional of the future is not multitasking anymore, but the one that has like a field where he or she is specializing in.
Yeah.
So if you are going to an interview, you should not say anymore you are multitasking because it won't give you a good job, a good position.
Yeah, a modern and HR manager, so human resource manager will tell you, oh, then you are confused and you can't concentrate on one thing. Yeah, this is the concern. You have to be able to work on different projects, but not at the same time. In the same period, yes, but not at the same exact time. This is a no-go. So you have to then define, okay, this project is as big, it needs me now 3 days per week or 3 hours per week, but then I will close this email box and I will go to another email box and I will do for that project. So this is how it should be done. Never jumping, yeah, ping pong, exactly, never. Okay, we only have prototyping. Okay, so this is another important thing, but it's more part of a planning, yeah? It's the next step of planning. So first you plan things, and then always, especially if it's a product development, try to visualize it, try to build it. Do a mock-up, if you can. Because it helps you to use your other senses, yeah? And to better predict what is going to happen with the project, with the product, and so on. So prototyping is crucial, and this is why children are so successful when doing certain tasks, because they're doing it, they're prototyping, they're trying to put it together, like Legos, for example, yeah? So always prototype. And in my office, for example, for my team, we have one small room, there's a whiteboard, there are Legos in it, and each project we have, whether it is how to sell better, or how to perform better, or how to build a new product, we always have to prototype it. And this makes us, this forces us to talk about all the possible obstacles, all the possible threats from the market and so on. So prototyping is crucial, and it can be fun, and it can be a real team building also for the company. And this is the part of branding also. How to achieve that your company believes in brand. Because sometimes, I worked also as a project developer. And, okay, I could predict what kind of product should be built or what kind of solution, but if I don't ask marketing guys or salespeople, then I will build something that cannot be sold or there's no market for it, even if it's good, but maybe it's ahead of time or whatever. So always include in your team project team has to be built from different people, as I said before. And they have to contribute. If they will contribute, they will believe it, and at the end, the result will be better, and it will perform better. Not only is it going to look good and it will have all the functionalities needed, but also they will believe in it and they will be able to sell it. And when you do the prototyping, first, in a closed group, I say, you test it, and you talk about it, and then show it to someone else as well. Because you will be surprised how many falters they will find. Yeah? And teams usually think that they know everything, and they stop here. Not good enough. We call it blind testing. So when we are satisfied with the product or with the solution, also with the study program now at VIA College, when we do a new master program, okay, we build the curriculum and then we give it and we show it to potential students. And then they tell us, oh my God, and companies, for example. And this is a constant learning process. Yeah? This is how it should be done. Okay, copying. Yes, so now 2 of you can speak and I'll be quiet.
3 of us.
The 3 of you, okay. Is it copying good, bad, water? Tell me.
I think it's just bad. I never look to my neighbor. Never. Like before I finish, never. I'm saying that especially when I'm writing.
Okay.
I told I'm a journalist and I started writing. I never go for an example because I tend to copy everything. Like I cannot just go there and see how they did and not copy or do the same.
Okay.
It's like
so you know
destroys
yourself
my
enough.
creativity.
Okay.
It destroys like.
You know yourself enough to know that it's not beneficial for you. It's
No,
not,
yeah,
it does not
for me
work
it's
for you.
not. I know
It's
that
kind
some
of the
people take
opposite
advantage
for
of it.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
when, she said it destroys her creativity.
I think that's
For me, it emphasizes it. Like I see something and I think, how can I make it better than that? So I take the basic model of that, but then try and think of a better, more efficient way of doing it. Like I do that with everything that I do. If I see an article, say I have to write something and I see a similar piece, I'm just like, how can I make it better?
And actually, I think that the companies nowadays, they need all the time to see the competitors, what they are doing to improve themselves. This is the
Exactly.
point. They are not copying, but they need to know what they are doing.
Perfect.
If you don't see what they are doing, you don't know how to improve
Yeah, there
yourself.
are cases and cases, of course. Like
This is the same.
like
We will have to
researching
make companies.
competitors, like benchmarking is basically.
This is
like,
very marketing.
I think
Yeah.
copy
But
differs from situation.
But in practical,
yeah, it depends. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that copies it's cool and always you're
it's
doing
not
it. I
copy,
always
it's
do
taking
it.
ideas from the
But-
others. We can
But
put in.
not if you get
Wow,
like
you're also smart, I
close
like
amount
it.
of time when you are already got a plan and you got just.
But the plan was not
minutes.
working, Dorota. The plan was
How
not
was
working.
it? How
Was not
not working?
Because it was following and we needed to put something and finally we put something and it was working a little bit better, not at all, but
Okay.
a little bit better.
Okay, I will interfere.
Tape it to the
In a
ground.
modern business, if we call it modern or whatever is it called, but nowadays we stimulate people, especially teams, that they do copy. But copy does not mean steal or does not mean support you being bored or being lazy. It just means that stimulates you to perform better. Because my team is not the smartest team in this world. Probably there's another team who is doing something better than I do. And as a society, we have to be aware of one goal, one common goal. To achieve even bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better goals. And if we wouldn't have competition, we would be satisfied with everything. So we have to set higher goals for us and to help us be competitors. So I'm always telling to my group, hey, your best friends are your competitors. When they come, they tell me, fuck, have you seen what they have just done? They launched a new product or a new service. How could they do it? And we have this in mind. And I'm telling them, So 2 things. First, we were too slow, right? Because we knew that there's a potential on the market for that. And second, they are not your enemies. They are friends because they showed you now how it's done, and you'll be able to do it faster because we had a problem with developing know-how. Now we see it on the market because they were hiding it before. Now we see it in the market. But what we will have to do, we won't copy it, we will improve it. And copying and improving, copying is just the first step of improvement. And if someone who saw a bike wouldn't see that you have to pedal it and that you can improve it, he copied it as a model, but he improved it with a motor. So this is the idea of copying, and this picture shows they're both building in R&D, I don't know, an app or whatever they are, and they are copying. And it's nothing wrong with that. Of course, this team is trying to protect themselves. Why? Because they're trying to be the leaders still, right, on the market, and to achieve the goal first. But it's nothing wrong with copying.
No, they're copying too. Look at the guy.
Ah, yeah, okay, sorry. I haven't seen that. Good
Yeah,
observer. Both of them. Yeah, both of them. So it is nothing wrong with that, but that does not mean steal. Yes? That's a huge difference.
It's a very
This is how someone educated you.
No,
It's a very
but you had a point as well. That's why I like the conversation, because what cannot be cost, and this is I can see that very often in companies, and it's referred to being lazy also sometimes. That's how I see it. You cannot get distracted. If you start copying someone, if you check what they're doing and you see how they're doing it, don't get confused and ruin your whole plan. If you planned it, and this is what you've said, right? That you rather don't go and copy it because you get confused then and you don't know. I mean, everything collapsed. Yeah? So don't do that. You have to train yourself to just check it, okay, but still stick. If you planned well your project, you won't feel threatened by someone else's plan or development. But just use the best things that you see and you didn't think of.
The
And
basic
implement
stuff
that,
that they have
exactly.
and we put in ours.
And put it, and this is how it should be done. So your competitors always learn from them and copy as much as you can, but have in mind that to be legit, and also because we want to be moral, improve it. No one can blame you for copying it if you will do something better for the society. No one, but improve it. Yeah? Make a big step ahead. Okay, this is about copying. So it's really, really important, and people are not well aware of copying. Time pressure. So I was trying to do a time pressure on you. Yeah? You were quite resistant, I have to say. You're just like, okay, stop, I know that this is your role, you said it to me, I believe, and I was like, okay, you're so boring, but yeah.
Did you say?
No, someone told me that, yeah, that you know the role I have, time pressure. We are constantly under time pressure. This has become our reality. And you have to know how to face it. You have to know how to handle it. I've met many, and I was like that as well, that I didn't handle time pressure well enough. And I know many talents nowadays, you know, that in the HR we talk about talents. Yes, all the employers are trying to find talents, not employees but talents, because there are many employees but very few talents. So, time pressure is one of the really important assets that you can have, or competence, that you know how to handle it when you are feeling time pressured. Yeah? There are various of techniques, yoga for example, which is how we taught today, I've heard, is one of them. So finding your balance. Yeah? And knowing that yes, deadline is there, but still, how you avoid the pressure of time? When can you feel secure that you will achieve the goal?
When you do your deadlines, little deadlines, and then you see that you're okay.
So when you plan it, right? If you will plan it, you also plan milestones. So those smaller deadlines, right? And you do checkpoints. Okay, I've come to that stage at that time, so it's okay. Until the end, yes, time pressure, but still, I have sufficient time, I've planned it, everything is under control. Okay, this is my next point. I am like that, for example. I will always wait till the end.
But it's still pressure then.
It's still pressure, but you have to know how to transform it into a positive stress. Because otherwise it kills you, and it's true that I've talked with some experts on, some HR experts, and they told me that it's still bad, because, you also can get burned out, because the adrenaline is always present and so on. But, okay, I function better like that, and to be honest, I had a rough week, and yesterday I did not have this PowerPoint ready for you. I've done it through the night.
Really?
Yes, I knew the topic and everything, but yeah, so I forced myself to I knew that it's going to happen, that I will be here in a beautiful surrounding, and it's going to happen the same for tomorrow, almost. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Not acting for you.
Yeah, but time pressure can also be positive, but then you really have to know yourself that you don't push yourself over the limit, because it's very easily done. Okay? So, and the last one, time pressure, yeah? No, squeezing, and then people get headaches and so on. It can be really hard. And healthy competition, as I've said before, yeah? So competitors are my best friends. They are telling me what I say sometimes. That's a funny one. We were in a position where we should do a huge market research. And nowadays, to do a huge market research for a complex product can be really expensive. And we kind of had the idea what we would like to do, what kind of product, but we were not sure whether, because there was a lot of money involved to invest it in product development. And I was sitting with the team, and one of my team members said, "Pero, but why would we be so much ahead of time? Let's wait. Let's give this opportunity to our competitors. We will mention them, yeah, what we are thinking of, and they will grab it, and they're bigger. They will do the market research, and we will just be behind their shoulders, searching, looking. But we are one step ahead because we already know how we would build this product. And they're always, because we knew how they function. We knew, or we still know how they function. They're very analytic. They always firstly do the market research, and we don't. We come from ideas. So ideas, we plan how it could be built, and then we decide whether is it ahead of time, whether there's not an opportunity yet on the market, and we put it in a drawer. I say that, okay, this idea should go in the drawer, and to wait for us. And one day we'll try to realize, we'll make it happen,